Hi Book Dragons, I'm back. I have a puppy outside of her cage, so if you see someone moving behind me, it is probably a very cute German Shepherd puppy. But I am here today to do a book haul. It's pretty big. I haven't really done a book haul since the start of the year, so this is an accumulation of books that I bought, and I did do a pretty big shopping trip in February with my friends because we just had a shopping day because I had the week off from work. So yeah, let's get into it. If I remember where I got it, I will try to tell you. But yeah, I'm excited for some of these. So I did like a little mini Amazon haul. I don't remember why. Oh, I had a couple of gift cards, and I never get Amazon gift cards because I don't like to support Amazon book-wise. But I had a bunch of gift cards, and I decided to treat myself to a few books. So I picked myself a light novel, which I have never read, but Princess and Paperback Madison was chatting about this one. So I picked up The Princess of Convenient Plot Devices. And I think this is just like about a girl who like gets pulled into this magical world, and it just sounded fun. And like she becomes the princess. She like has these elements that work for her. I know that when they were talking about it, I like was very, very captivated. And I have never read manga. It's on my list, but this is one that I am excited to read as well. So hopefully I'll get around to it soon. Maybe I'll do a reading vlog where I read things totally outside my comfort zone. And it's not that long, so I am intrigued by this. I do think I would really like manga, but I struggle with reading manga. I also picked up the last two books in the, I don't know what the series is called, the Prison Healer series. So I got the Gilded Cage and the Blood Trader. These are not as nice as the Fairy Loot ones. These are just from Amazon. But I remember I read Prison Healer in early last year and really, really loved it. So I want to make some progress on this series, and I think I'm going to do like a series wipeout video soon and see if I like reading books like that. And then the next book I picked up is What Lies in the Woods by Kate Alice Marshall. My puppy has really liked biting this one. I have not heard the best things about this one. This is my book of the month pick. But I don't know. I really struggle with unlikable characters, and that's what people said this one is like. And I think from the way people are like telling me the story, I think I know the case it's loosely based upon. But I'm gonna give it a shot. I also would like to read her YA books and see which one I like better. I also got Hellbent from Book of the Month. Again, I haven't read it yet, but it is on my TBR. And my couple of my books that were my most exciting acquisitions was Nightbirds by Kate J. Armstrong. This is a book I am dying to reread because I reread it. I read it in like last October, right when I got back from Comic-Con, and I feel like it needs a reread now that it is a finished book. I felt like the pacing in the first one was a little bit off, but I am willing to give her another shot. I really liked it. I gave it like 4.5 stars, but it's a book that I think could be 5 stars, so I'm hopeful that there was a little bit more editing after I read the arc. But yeah, I'm really excited for this one, and look tuned for this in another video shortly. And I also picked up Chain of Thorns by Cassandra Clare. This is a behemoth. Like, it's just massive. I really have not watched any vlogs on this, as long as either a Stolen Heir, which I also have, but if I don't grab it for this vlog, I did buy it, but it's just so big. I haven't tried to avoid watching reviews about it because I don't want to get spoiled. But it's a behemoth. I want to be back with these characters. I might read this over break when I don't have to lug this book to school, or I might get the ebook. I actually might get the ebook one day. I'm trying to get better at reading like my big books on my TBR, and this is definitely a behemoth. But I really do love these characters. So, and then I also picked up a copy from Fairy Loot of The Last Tale of the Flower by Ravani Chashki. This book is just stunning. It's stunning. There's nothing on the back of this book like normal books have from them, but they have such stunning books. I get their adult editions. There's end papers, which are very, very pretty. It gives me Beauty and the Beast vibes. And then it has sprayed edges as well. So yeah, that's my first stack of books. Definitely some new favorite authors and books I hope to read soon. But now let's get to the other ones. The next stack of books was sort of random. I went to Barnes & Noble with a couple of friends, and I was just doing some random books. I was really in the mood for some witch books. I also picked up these bookmarks that look like dessert. I definitely have a sweet tooth. And these books I don't really know much about. These two are sort of connected. They're like a witchy novels, but more like women's fiction. The Lost Witch by Paige Crutcher and In the Shadow Garden by Liz Parker. I might do like a springy reading vlog with some springy covers, and these would definitely work. So that was just my theory, but I think they both have to do with like like magic stories, more women fiction. Maybe there's a romance element to them. This is a richly atmospheric and luminous debut about 3 generations of women whose magic is much a part of his life as love is death and the rich, dark earth beneath their feet. And The Lost Witch is a witch discovers that finding your way home is sometimes the most perilous journey of all. And it's set in 2 timelines, 1922 and 2002. So, very, very interesting. I also picked up a book called Walk the Wild with Me by Rachel Atwood. And this was sort of just reminded me of when I was reading the Regency fairy tale series. And I think it just has to do with like a Richie elements, and it has goddesses, might have some fae involved in it, and it just sounded cool, so I want to read this again. Sort of another idea to do like a springy vlog, and this one, these would all count. I also, for buy one get one 50%, I picked up Amy Poplar's The Sweetest Spot, where 3 women find a baby. So it's like more women's fiction, but I like books about babies, so it sounds to be interesting. And then I also got Thread Needle by Kari Thomas. This is another like magic book, but it was the 50% off at Barnes & Noble one of the months. There's magic in every nook and cranny in this fantastical novel that stalks the streets of London and really an enthralling, inventive tale of getting lost in women and home. So yeah, this is an adult fantasy book, but it's more women's, I think it's like a women's fantasy book, or like about women, which yeah, I'm excited for. Again, a lot of these were just some random picks, but again, some of my more random picks are books that I like truly love at the end of the day. So yeah, that's the next stack, and now let's do some of the YA books I got recently. The next 3 books I'm going to chat about are all from an event that I went to. I actually got the other 2 books, but I previously hauled those. So I got Revelle by Alyssa Mia Smith. This was the book launch at Books of Wonder that I went to. Another like 1920s-esque book with magic at the heart of it. And yeah, I loved her pitch. Like, I really want to dive into it. I'm really in the mood for some fantasies that capture me, and this I think will do it. It's under like, it's kind of mixed with like Chicago and like Moulin Rouge, and there's like these 3 different families. There's a little bit of time travel element to it. I'm very excited for this book. So this one was one that I was really excited for. Irony, one of my coworkers actually knows this author, so I thought that was really, really fun. I got so this cover is so pretty. I also have the Owl Crate one, but I think I like this cover a little bit more, which I don't normally say, so I'm going to keep this one. And then I also got 2 books from Meg Long. This is the companion book that they were selling that night, so I got this one, and then the next day when I went back with my friends, I got A Cold the Night, Fast the Wolves by Megan Long, and these are kind of companion books, but I think this is set in like a wilderness setting. Oh no, this is set in a wilderness setting, and this is set in like a forest setting. So like, I think I should probably read them in order, and I probably will, but I just didn't have both to get signed at the moment. I also did a trade for something on one of my trade groups, and I got Daughters of Odom by Moses Osis Otumi. This comes out in February, and I think this is just about girls that fight and like are trained in fighting, and there's God elements to it. I'm really in the mood for God books recently, so yeah, this one's great. I love the cover. It's really, really great, really, really unique, and I'm enjoying it. My friend also traded me for her Take a Bow, Noah Smith. She knows that I like gaming books, so this one came from Page Publishing and Tobias Madden, and yeah, I'm happy. I'm excited. This one will be fun. I also was having a weird week at work, so I decided to treat myself to a book. So I picked up Legends in Latte by Travis Baldry. I do have the audiobook. I am really excited for book 2, but I just wanted to have a physical book for my collection. And this cover I actually like more than all the other ones, so I picked this one up. I also picked up a copy of Do I Know You by Emily Weberly and Austin Sigmund Broga. I have really liked all their YA books and have both of their adult books and haven't read them. And this is like about 2 characters, Ellie and Graham, and they wind up going on this 5-year anniversary trip, but the spark is sort of out of their marriage, and someone mistakes them for not knowing each other, so they kind of spend the trip pretending like they're meeting for the first time, and maybe their romance is rekindled. I've heard really mixed things about their like adult books, but I love their YA, so maybe I will be the exception to the rule. We will see. I also, my friend had I bought my friend a book, so she bought me a book when we were shopping, and I think she bought me Seven Faceless Saints by M.K. Malab, and this is like a murder mystery, I think, set in like a fantastical setting. I was hearing really good things about it, and I wanted to read it, and this cover is pretty. I also picked up a copy of The Strange Case of the Alchemist's Daughter by Theodora Goss. And like normally people love the audio of this, but I would need the audio to have different voices. It's not a full cast narrator. And like every page, I'll see if I can find one. There is like little like accent marks, like people break into the conversation, and unless your audiobook is done like that with a big cast of characters, it confuses me who's talking. So I want to read this physically. I know Riley Marie and Meg from Books said to listen to it, but I was struggling, so I decided to pick up a physical copy, and I'll probably read it faster, and I probably will really like it. And then I also got Strike the Zeeter by June He. I wasn't the biggest fan of The Ones We're Meant to Find. I DNF'd this book, but I love books with solid rep. So yeah, I'm excited for this one. Again, I don't really know what any of these books are about. I just sort of went on a buying spree. I apologize, but keep up to date on my reading vlogs, and then I will have more information about these books. I sort of like to go in books totally blind. It doesn't always work, but at least, I mean, for me it does, because I don't like to know too much, and I'm convinced that plot summaries tell me too much about a book. So I'm trying to avoid reading them. So sorry for the lack of information, but those are the books that I got, and now we're going to do the next stack. Be back in a moment. Okay, so my last stack of books is a bit random. Some out of my comfort reads, some books I just really, really wanted. I picked up a copy of Radiant Sim by Katie Roberts because I love Apollo, and maybe it's because I really just like his character, maybe it's because of the Percy Jackson series, but I'm willing to give this series a shot. I don't know if I need to read them in order, but I'm going to try to read this out of order and see how confused I am. But yeah, I like just that story was the most fascinating to me. I don't always love like all books with no plot and all smut, but I have hope that maybe it won't be like that. So that's why I picked this one up. Tell me in the comments if I can't read them out of order, and maybe I'll read the other ones. But that one's one I was interested in. I also picked up Cursed by Marissa Meyer. I thought that Gilded ended on like a really interesting cliffhanger, and I would like to finish this, like wrap up this duology and see kind of what comes next. But it was definitely an interesting ending, I will say that. And I did enjoy it. I don't think I loved it as much as I was hoping. It definitely is no Cinder series, which is like a new favorite of mine, or like an all-time favorite, but I want to see how this duology ends. I also picked up a couple of books by Django Wexler. I picked up A Ship of Smoke and Steel, which is his YA debut. This has to do with seafaring, and I'm really on a seafaring kick. I'm reading Isles of the Gods. One of my other books recently had some sea in it, and I just want to read this author. I think he would be right up my alley. I also got a really good deal on Pango for Ashes of the Sun by Django Wexler. I feel like this book wasn't even read. It's another pretty big book, but I have really liked reading big books. I mean, I read one, don't get too excited. But it was pretty long, and I think this is like Star Wars in space, but it was like gay Star Wars. So that's intriguing. I want to read it. I'm excited. I also traded for someone for another book, and I got Missing Clarissa by Ripley Jones. And I think this is a book that has like a podcast element to it, and I love books like that. So yeah, again, I don't really know what this is about. I think a girl goes missing. 20 years later, a true crime cast is trying to find her. This is not coming out until March, or it probably is coming out soon. But yeah, I'm really excited to read this one. That was a quick trade that I always look for. I also traded for a copy of Kismet Connection by Anai Devarjar. And I don't know what this one's about. Honestly, I don't. But it has an Indian American childhood best friends, fake dating, age station, and proof existence of their free will. I love fake dating. I love second chance romances. I love Friends to More, and I love books with a bit of rep. So I'm excited for this one. This cover is pretty as well. I also got She's a Haunting by Tracy Tran. This comes out in February, and this is a Mexican Gothic meets an astonishing coloring and after. I haven't read either of those books. A Vietnamese girl who named Jade who would give everything to feel like she belongs somewhere, and a deadly haunted house is desperate to consume her family and the girl she loves and Jade herself. Again, I got that at sort of random. And then I also did pick up the Inheritance Game series from Jennifer Lynn Barnes. This is my fancy Fairy Loot editions. I never treat myself to these editions, but oh my goodness, these are stunning. There was a little bit of an imperfection, I think, and they gave us like our money back. They gave us like a credit or something, but oh my goodness, So I just have to show you guys these books. They do such good work. Like they really, really do. Stunning editions. This is this, and then the back says, she came from nothing. They had everything. Let the games begin. And that is the pretty thing. And then this one, yeah, that's the quote on this one. Right on that. And then the backs are this. They're all in there. And then the backs is her, which is really, really pretty. Again, I love these editions. They will just be my collector's editions. I've been trying to get friends to read the series and they haven't loved it as much as I have, but that's okay. I sometimes have weird taste. Hawthorne Legacy is this pretty color. Oh my goodness. So, 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 so pretty. We just admire that. And then this is another photo on the back. These covers are pretty. And again, sort of like the same exact thing. The backs just have really, really pretty. And this is a deadly puzzle to solve, a fortune at stake. And I think it's because, like, I think that there was something with, like, the etching on the books. But, oh my god, they're just pretty. Pretty, pretty, pretty. Worth every penny. I won't be getting rid of these. And then the final one is the Final Gambit. I do have my other editions. This is a green. Riddles upon riddles, secrets upon secrets, winner takes all. And then we have, like, these, like, almost manga-ish photos of them. And then, yeah, it's just pretty. It's just stunning. So, yeah, that is my whole book haul. It wasn't that big. Oh, and this is my last one. But, oh, my goodness. This is so pretty. We're also getting a companion series set this year that I'm definitely going to be buying. But, yeah, that is my book haul. I hope you guys liked it. Again, sorry for the lack of descriptions. But keep an eye on my reading vlogs. They'll get read soon, right? Don't we all say that? What's the old saying? Book buying and book reading is two habits. I have an obsession with both. So, I will talk to you guys for my next video. And I hope you guys subscribe and stick around. We're going to have some fun this spring. Bye, Book Dragons.